This video is to discuss about health insurance issues in Malaysia. My group member, I'm Falihin, and I, Nurun Najwa, will show you 4 issues that we have decided to cover in this video. So let's venture together. According to Persatuan Insurans Malaysia, health insurance is a policy generally designed to cover the cost of private medical treatment such as the cost of hospitalization and healthcare services when you are diagnosed with covered illness or have had an accident. The first issue is health insurance in relation to COVID-19. The issue involves cost of hospitalization and healthcare services. These include room, board, doctor, surgery fees, medical supplies, and services. Next, majority of medical plans, policies, or certificates exclude all types of communicable disease that require quarantine by law, such as COVID-19 outbreak. These are the solutions that we have found. There are several insurers have agreed to waive the exclusion and provide cover and give extra coverage for COVID-19. AIA Malaysia stated that all AIA medical plans cover their customers who require hospitalization and treatment as a result of COVID-19. Their customers get extra coverage for COVID-19 at no cost. The extra coverage also applicable for their new customers before 30 September 2020. Prudential Malaysia also offers special types of complementary coverage for the COVID-19. Prudential offered the added benefits to Prudential customers and registered users of Pulse by Prudential that registered before 30th June 2020. Pulse is a digital health and fitness application that offers AI-powered self-help tools and real-time information to its users. Insurance and Takaful industry have pledged 8 million ringgit Malaysia to set up the Fund for COVID-19 Test Fund, which is known as CTF, for health insurance policyholders and health Takaful certificates holders in hope that more people will undergo the test and reduce likelihood of the virus exposure. They also launched the portal MyCTF website to help policyholders and certificate holders who need further information and to submit online claiming. The benefit provided by insurance are AIA stated that for hospitalization benefit, when the insured person is diagnosed with COVID-19 and kept quarantined at any of the Ministry of Health designated hospital, will be provided 200 ringgit Malaysia per day up to 30 days of hospitalization. Prudential customers will receive a total cash relief payout of 5,000 ringgit when diagnosed with COVID-19 at a hospital identified by the Ministry of Health on or before 30 April 2020. Extra coverage from 1st May until 31st December 2020 for eligible Prudential customers. They will get cash relief of 1,000 ringgit upon diagnosis and hospitalization. The claims limit is 1 million ringgit. While for Pulse users who register in Pulse by Prudential will get cash relief 1,000 ringgit upon diagnosis and hospitalization, and the claims limit is 300,000 ringgit. For eligible Prudential customers who also register in Pulse by Prudential will get cash release of 2,000 ringgit upon diagnosis and hospitalization, and the claims limit is 1 million ringgit. Policyholders or certificate holders with medical and health insurance are entitled for reimbursement of up to 300 ringgit from the CTF if they are required to undergo the COVID-19 screening before their emergency or semi-emergency surgeries. Emergency means a situation where a patient requires immediate and life-saving interventions, while semi-emergency means a high-risk patient whose condition could easily deteriorate or who presents with symptoms of a condition requiring time-sensitive treatment. CTF applicable from 27 March until 30 June 2020 or earlier if the fund is fully utilized. Next issue is health insurance in relation to mental health. Let's take a look at the issue involved. Mental health was a major problem. One area of concern is the state of mental health among young people. The National Health and Mobility Survey 2017 on mental health among youth revealed that 1 out of 5 adolescents felt depressed, 2 out of 5 felt anxious, 11.2% had suicidal ideation, and 10.1% had attempted suicide. The problem also involves students because the ratio of students who had mental problems increased from 1 in every 10 students in 2011 to 1 in every 5 students in 2016. A 16-year-old girl from Kuching killed herself last May 2019 after her followers voted on Instagram for her death, triggering a nationwide debate on mental health. Mental health continues to remain a challenge for both the public and health industry due to lack of data and understanding. Treatment for mental health could be quite costly, hence many of those suffering from mental health issues do not seek treatment. Consultation charges can run into hundreds, while medication also costs a lot. Health insurance premiums do not cover the cost of psychiatric service. Mental health is not covered by insurance companies because such illnesses are not given the same treatment as other non-communicative diseases. Mental illness also takes more time to detect and diagnose and involve conversation between the patient and a psychiatrist. This is the solutions that we have found. In July 2019, AIA Malaysia has decided to cover mental illness, believed to be the first Malaysian insurance company to do so. AIA provides coverage for 6 mental health conditions, which is major depressive disorder, postpartum depression, schizophrenia, bipolar disorder, obsessive compulsive disorder, and Tourette syndrome. AIA commits to help Malaysians live healthier, longer and better life by taking the first step to address the rising number of Malaysians suffering from mental health problems. It also helps to create awareness on the importance of caring mental health. Etika launched the first critical illness rider to include mental illness coverage. 4 types of mental illness were included, which is bipolar affective disorder, major depressive disorder, schizophrenia, and schizoaffective disorder. A person's mental health needs to be at critical stage before the lump sum payment is made. However, the rider will not offer to those with pre-existing condition as well as those already receiving regular treatments for their mental health. Malaysia Psychiatry Association (MPA) has called for mental health treatment to be included in health insurance premiums. Such coverage is needed due to worrying number of people suffering from mental health. It is important to know that early diagnosis and treatment greatly increase the chance of individuals affected by mental illness to regain a reasonable state of health and well-being and satisfying quality of life. There is a rising need for insurance plans that cover mental health conditions in this country. Therefore, there is a need to study the trends, treatment technology, prognosis, and outcomes of disease in order for insurance companies to come up with new coverage policies and for wider coverage for mental illness available. The insurance industry works collectively with medical professionals, health experts, and regulators to develop the best solutions to meet the needs of Malaysians. This is benefit provided by insurance. AIA gives insurance benefits for mental health covered under the Health Wallet that feature and available as part of AIA's A Plus Health Medical Plan. It is also offered under the Sharia compliant version, A Plus Health I. All new and existing customers will be able to utilize this benefit without any increase in premiums or insurance charge. They will be able to claim up to RM1,500 per year in psychiatric consultation fees when visiting any private or government hospitals. For every year that a customer does not make a claim from A Plus Health or A Plus Health I, an amount will be credited into their health wallet up to 10 times. According to Etika, any customers accepted by Etika are eligible for coverage and subject to the normal underwriting process. The one-time payout ranges from RM1,500 to RM30,000, depending on the sum insured. When a person is properly diagnosed with a mental illness, a lump sum payment, which is 15% of the sum insured, will be made. Most beneficial to the policyholder is that Etika does not define how this amount is to be used. Thus, the policyholder may use it for consultation fees, medication, or hospitalization.
The next issue is excluding Malaysians diagnosed with critical illnesses before January 1 from coverage under the MySalam health insurance. This issue arises when the government does not cover the health insurance of existing patients that diagnosed before 1 January. Only patients that diagnosed after 1 January that will be under the coverage. So, as the solution for this issue, MySalam has widened the coverage with few conditions and extended the scheme for more people. This is the general information about My Salam. What is My Salam? My Salam is a government initiative or government health insurance scheme that aims to provide takaful health protection to Malaysians for free. This scheme is initially started on January 2019, and then it has been revised in 2020. This scheme is handled by Great Eastern Takaful. It means that the government cooperates with Great Eastern Takaful on this scheme. My Salam's coverage is divided into two, which are for BHH recipients or Bantuan Sara Hidup recipients and non-BSH recipients. For BHH recipient, the requirement is that the recipient must age between 18 to 65 years. This is for married recipients. This also can cover for their spouse. Second is for single individual aged between 40 to 65 with income less than 24,000 per year. And third is for OKU aged between 18 to 65 with income 44,000 per year. For non-BSH recipients, the recipients must age 18 to 65 with income less than 100,000 per year. This also can apply for their spouse. For this issue, there is the possible effect that arises if we exclude these people. First is this will marginalize existing population that could not pay for the cost of health. Second is there is a large number of existing patients in the B40 group with these illnesses and they will be left out. Third is there is no justification to exclude these people from getting the benefit. If we rethink, excluding like this is actually similar to typical private insurance business type. Moreover, the objective of national health insurance is to cover everyone and to support the health requirement for those who is incapable in terms of health spending. So it is supposed to include these people, unlike the commercial insurance that has exception in their coverage. This scheme is supposed a better healthcare financing system based on single payer and not for profit government run national health insurance. This is the other perspective from Gallen Center for Health and Social Policy. They said that the payout of 8,000 will certainly benefit people that burdened by these illnesses. However, to be included in this scheme, it is required to have the right age, right kind of illness, and right time of diagnosis. As consequences, this issue highlights the perception that the arrangement protects the interests and limits the liabilities of Great Eastern Holdings, rather than prioritize the more important things, such as the needs of the most vulnerable among B40. In the other words, this issue indicates that Great Eastern Holdings prioritize their liabilities more than the needs of B40. This is the initial information for My Salam before it is extended. The scheme is eligible for about 3.7 million BSH recipients and spouse that age between 18 to 55. and only under B40 group is eligible for MySalam. There are 36 critical illnesses that under this coverage. This scheme is only for individuals that diagnosed with critical illness after 1 January. This becomes a big issue on this matter. This scheme is only eligible for the treatment in government hospital under Ministry of Health, and this excludes University Hospital under Ministry of Education. This also becomes the issue on this matter. The benefit for BHH recipient is that they will get 8,000 lump sum payment upon diagnosis of a critical illness, and they also can claim for 50 ringgit daily hospitalization income replacement up to 14 days or maximum about 700 per year. As the solution, the government decides to extend the scheme to ensure that more people benefits from the scheme. This is the extended scheme for MySalam Health Insurance. There are about 8 million BSH and non-BSH recipients and their spouse that are eligible for this scheme instead of 3.7 million previously. This time, non-BSH also can be included in this scheme. There must be in age 18 to 65 years. The limit of age is also extended from 55 years previously, and then now to 65 years. They also must under group B40 and M40, which also has been extended. Before this, only B40 that under this coverage. Previously, there is only 36 critical illnesses that have been covered under this scheme, and now it is extended to 45 critical illnesses. This scheme covers individuals that diagnosed with a critical illness after 1 January, and before 1 January, there is condition to be fulfilled. Currently, this scheme includes the University Hospital under Ministry of Education, such as University Malaya, University Science Malaysia, and others. Before this, these university hospitals are excluded. For BHH recipients, they will get 8,000 lump sum payment upon diagnosis of a critical illness, while for non-BHH, they will get 4,000 lump sum payment upon diagnosis of critical illness. Both for BSH and non-BSH recipients, they will get 50 ringgit daily hospitalization income replacement up to 14 days or maximum 700 per year. This is the condition where people that were diagnosed before 1 January can claim for the insurance. First is the daily hospitalization income replacement benefit claims allowed if hospitalized starting from 1 January. Second, for critical illness benefit, claims are allowed if the pre-existing illness has not progressed to the severity level specified in the definition of the critical illness prior to 1 January 2019. This is the example for people that can claim for the benefit. For first example, Mr. A had a heart attack in 2017. As this happens before 1 January, he cannot claim for this. But if Mr. A then suffered another heart attack, which is after 1 January, then he is eligible to claim 8,000 under critical illness benefit. For second example, Mr. B was diagnosed with diabetes in 2010, and his condition worsened over time. In March 2019, Mr. B was diagnosed with kidney failure, a condition that requires regular dialysis. In this case, he is eligible to claim 8,000 under the critical illness benefit. For the last example, Mr. F was diagnosed with stage 1 lung cancer in 2017. He responded well to the treatment, and by 2018 he was declared cancer free. And then in February 2019, the diagnosis confirmed that his lung cancer has relapsed, and as this relapse occurred after 1 January, he is eligible to claim for 8,000 under critical illness benefit. This is the solution that is suggested by Medical Director of National Cancer Society of Malaysia, Dr. M. Muralidharan. He says that MySalam should cover those diagnosed in the last 5 years. Government might have the limitation in terms of money available in the fund, but this will be unfair to those who are still undergoing the impact of this disease. For those B40 patients that are struggling with these critical illnesses, MySalam would be very helpful for them. If the money is limited and cannot be stretched, then the government should consider extending it to include patients who are still undergoing active treatment. The next issue is on the premium of health insurance keep increasing. For the scenario, the premiums are drawn up based on various assumptions, including the probability of the yearly medical inflation. The pricing is then reviewed periodically and priced carefully. If actual claim volume differs from the assumptions, insurance would then consider revising the premium charge. For example, Malaysia had experienced one of the highest medical inflation rates in Asia in recent years. The expected claims increased 30% in 2019. As a result, the insurance companies have to revise their premiums upwards. For the solution, we'll discuss later. There are some reasons on why the cost of health insurance increased. First reason is advancement in healthcare technology that has caused the cost to be higher. There is a survey on medical trends found that Malaysia ranked among the highest in Southeast Asia in terms of expected increases in medical costs. Medical inflation is often higher due to improvements in technology and treatments, new drugs, people living longer and requiring more medical care, and etc. Second reason is the increasing number of people utilizing health insurance. As we can see, more Malaysians choose private doctors and private hospitals due to the greater number of qualified specialists on staff, newer facilities, and a full suite of diagnostic and procedural equipment. As private hospital is expensive, there are a growing number of consumers are purchasing medical insurance or takaful to cover the cost when there is need. The reason might be a minor reason where people seek treatment from private hospital because they are able to use their health insurance. one of the things that doctor asks the patient if they are covered under any health insurance or insurance under company. For example, if the patient is covered by a healthcare insurance, private hospitals would not think twice to recommend for CT scans, MRI, heart scans, and everything else. This is other perspective from different company. AIA Bahari states that as the number expecting to rise further and beyond general inflation rate, then they need to make the necessary adjustment and have to revise the premium cost upwards. For Zurich, Malaysia, after confirming the increase, so they had started to inform clients of the revised rate, and they also keep receiving calls from clients asking on the matter of increasing premiums in their medical plans. General Insurance Association of Malaysia, or PIAM, also gives their opinion on this issue. If the cost of healthcare is not being resolved, then the increase in premium for medical and health insurance will be inevitable, and this makes the greater increase of premiums upwards. If the medical insurance becomes unaffordable, it will cause more patients to seek treatment at government hospitals, and as we know, government hospitals are already burdened with more patients. For self-paying patients, they have to pay more for treatment at private clinics and hospitals. These are the stakeholders that will be affected for any consequences. They are healthcare providers, regulators, managed care organization, insurer and takaful operators, and policyholder. There are benefits arise from the issue and a benefit from the solution. Benefit arise from the issue of higher premiums are for healthcare providers. The increasing cost of healthcare will result in increasing premium in the insurance. So this will not become their losses, as they still can cover the cost with higher premiums implemented. Benefits from the solution of lower premiums are for policyholders. When the premium is not that high, then the policyholders can afford to pay for the insurance. The existing policyholders also may upgrade the policy for greater protection. This will also benefit to other people or potential customers, as more people can buy the insurance for their health protection. For the solution, most have to play their part. For policyholders, we have to be wiser, as we need to consider the medical costs, even in the case where the hospital bill will be fully covered by insurance company or takaful, because the cost of each treatment will count towards yearly and lifetime limits. If we succeed on this matter, lower claims will result in lower premiums for all policyholders. The second solution is the price transparency from private hospitals. This would help the public make informed decisions on the cost of treatments. The private hospitals should publish their actual average cost, and this is similar to what is currently practiced by some other countries. Other than that, price transparency will ensure that the regulation of fees will encourage competition among doctors to offer affordable rates to the people. Transparency in medical charge also will help to control prices over the long term. This is the solution suggested by Bank Negara Malaysia. The solution is in terms of transparency, efficiency improvement, and awareness and education. First, the transparency is in terms of publication of healthcare costs, itemized billing, and explain availability of treatment alternative. This can be achieved through the publication of reference benchmark costs for common medical procedures. For efficiency improvement, it should have consistent diagnostic classification standard, digitalization of medical records, and standardized billing formats. This will potentially result in significant operation efficiencies and contribute to keeping medical claims inflation in check. For awareness and education, this is for Malaysians to buy insurance coverage that match their needs and to understand the necessity of medical procedures. There are some items that should be emphasized, such as obtain insurance cover commensurate with needs, scrutinize medical bills, understand necessity of medical procedures, improve sales practice and policyholder education on terms of cover and appropriate usage of medical health insurance, and lastly promotes that incentive responsible use of insurance such as co-payments and deductibles. All these are the suggestion by Bank Negara Malaysia in one of the articles. Lastly, for suggestion, the Health Ministry should control the prices of medication in private hospitals. The reason for high medication prices given by the private hospital is high inventory costs, but that is not justified as they are taking huge quantities of medications. In fact, medication at private hospitals should be sold cheaper than private pharmacies due to economies of scales. Other than that, the Ministry of Health should look into setting up benchmark prices for drugs and pharmaceutical supplies in order to make it affordable.
We hope that you all gain new knowledge and know new issues in relation to health insurance in Malaysia by watching this video. Thank you.